Good morning. Oh, I've been awake since just a little after 2. I wish I could get more sleep, but it just doesn't work that way for me most of the time. Anyway, the title for today is Silence is Acquiescence. I hope I didn't use that title once before. I might have, but in any case, there's a date on it, so this is today's title. And the blurb goes like this. I guess it's time to move a bit away from personal life insights and share my perspective on weightier matters related to living in this world. Many so-called spiritual people take pride in not getting involved in politics and other affairs of the world. Some claim to be living in 5D reality, making them not part of the system at all. Whether they realize it or not, their silence is a vote to maintain the status quo, which is a domination system of human slavery conducted through the debt-based financial system. In law, acquiescence occurs when a person knowingly stands by without raising any objection to the infringement of their rights. It's passive assent or agreement without protest. I forgot to skip a space between 2 words there. The term is most generally a kind of permission given by silence or passivity. This is still a 3D world. How are you voting? Indeed, this is a weightier matter of living in this world. I spoke to a gentleman yesterday at the meeting that I went to in the morning, and the conversation briefly went to the financial system. And he says, until the financial system of the world changes, nothing else will. And I say a loud amen to that one. Nothing will change on this planet unless the financial system changes. Because the financial system is a debt-based system of slavery. Can't call it anything else. And every single one of us, including the dominators, are slaves of that debt-based system, which is a total fraud. It's always been a total fraud. Before any one of us was clued in to what was going on, it was a fraud then too. And our ignorance allowed it to come into being, and our continued ignorance allowed it to continue to operate. And it's still true today. Even though the collective consciousness is moving, with some people it's moving a lot, with others it seems to hardly be moving at all, but the collective consciousness is rising. However, most of humanity is still enslaved. Most of humanity is still under the thumb or under the combat boot heel of a domination system that is a total fraud. And money, as it exists in our world, is an illusion. It's just numbers on a computer screen somewhere. Used to be numbers in a ledger, but they've long since gone away from writing it down on paper. Now it's just simply numbers on a computer screen. And they move those numbers around at will, and they take the numbers away from the people that have little and accumulate it with people that have everything. And that's the system of the world that we live in. It is a political system. It is an economic system. It is a system of corruption, a system of fraudulent domination of the human soul, the human species, the human race. It is our enslavement. And silence is acquiescence. Silence says, okay, let Big Brother take care of me. Let the government take care of me. The government is my authority because I refuse to take any action, to raise my voice and to stand in truth at all. I'm going to let the government do whatever it wants to do, and it's okay with me. I'm not going to get involved. I'm not going to resist the government, because if I resist it, it will persist. That is a lie. That is a lie from the matrix. I was going to say from the pit. Same difference. Same difference. The matrix is an enslavement mentality. It is a victim and victimizer paradigm that everyone is ultimately victimized, including the victimizers, because every one of us sold our soul to the devil, as it were. And we became part of this experiment, this paradigm, this matrix of control, where we forgot who we were. That's how we lose our rights. We don't lose our rights by remembering who we are. We lose our rights by forgetting who we are. And so much of the religion of the matrix is an escape religion by calling it illusion. It's just an illusion. You don't have to worry about it because it's not real. You can go ahead and live in your head and create some little airy-fairy dream world. I mean, I listened to my friend Christopher speak yesterday morning. That was the meeting that I went to. And he gets it. I know he gets it. But I watched certain individuals in the audience and their reactions, especially one lady in particular, who has been at my house, and I know she's clueless. She's absolutely clueless. She doesn't get it at all. She revels in the idea that she can escape into this airy-fairy mentality and pronounce everything not real, and she thinks that's not separation. She thinks she's in unity consciousness. I've heard her talk. I've heard her talk. She's one of the A Course in Miracles people. And I've heard her explanation. And she doesn't even see that her unity consciousness is total separation consciousness. Because she's unaware. She has cast her vote in silence for the system as it is. Because she's not part of it. And that's the same with my two teachers that appeared in the dream. They think they're above it. They're above the fray. They're not involved. They're not willing to have their human experience. They're going to have their little 5D experience, living in some never land that'll never get here, ever on Earth. It'll never materialize on Earth because they don't take the action of raising their voice and standing in the truth and resisting that which is wrong. They say there is nothing wrong. And Christopher said that there's no right and wrong. Well, it depends on your perspective, doesn't it? And he was right. It's not a matter of consciousness. It's a matter of perspective. It certainly is. Everything is a matter of your perspective. You may not even know that you're a slave. But every time you participate, and me too, we're part of the slavery system with our bank accounts, with almost all of our financial transactions. We're voting for slavery. And I chose at one time not to have a driver's license because I understood the system. I understood it. Now I have a driver's license with all my rights reserved written right on it. It's part of my signature, all rights reserved. And I issued that little protest just by those 3 words. I recognized that my rights were being infringed and I've reserved my rights, but I don't want trouble. I don't want to have some cop show up at my house and assault me in my own home and violate my rights as were violated last May. I don't want that to happen again. So I play the system, but I want you to know that there are many people on this planet working together, and some working alone, to create a new financial system based on the truth. What is the truth? We are the value. That is the truth. The whole financial system works on your signature because your signature is your consent to the domination system. But we're turning that around. The OPPT provided the way, opened the door. And don't argue with me and tell me that the OPPT is a fraud. Don't tell me that a whole bunch of things are fraudulent. It's not fraud. That's your perspective. If you want your perspective, fine, but don't argue with me about it because I'm just gonna throw it away. I've already looked into it. I know what is real and I know what is true. And I know that sounds a hell of a lot like fundamentalists. And I don't like to sound like that. But I've examined this thing. I've looked at it and I know that this is the way out. This is the way home. This is the way to take back our value and to create a world that literally will work for everyone. And it is happening. It's happening every day. More and more things are being done to provide a way of escape by creating, not by just denying what is. That's the problem. That's the problem with the new spirituality, the new age spirituality, which isn't new at all. It's just simply acquiescence to what is. It's maintaining the status quo. It's maintaining the illusion. It's maintaining the ignorance so that people don't realize that, hey, I'm the value. Not the Rothschilds, not the Rockefellers, not the banks. I'm the bank. I'm the one that has the value. And my signature creates that value. That means I'm agreeing that I am valuable. They knew that you were valuable all your life, and you didn't, and neither did I. They knew it, and they took advantage of it for their own benefit, for their own enrichment and your impoverishment. And we've all been in this game together. And they know we're waking up. Oh, do they know we're waking up? Why do you think they're trying to tighten the screws? Why do you think why do you think they do surveillance? What difference does it make? They're against people that are waking up because the more people that wake up, they realize that their national security issues are only about covering up the fraud that they've been committing all along. And I talk about every government's that way. They're all that way. That's the nature of government. That's the nature of our world. That's the nature of the financial system that we live in. And you can continue to be in ignorance, but your ignorance and your silence is saying to those that want to use your value and take your rights away, you're giving them permission. You're voting and saying, okay, keep taking my rights. It's okay. Keep stepping on me. It's okay. Keep me impoverished. Keep me indebted to something that I don't even understand. Because I don't want to know about it. I don't want to learn anything. I just want to live at peace. I just want to live in la la land and think that everything is wonderful, everything is good, while people still die in unnecessary wars, while there's still people abused every day, people going hungry every day, people not having modern amenities because they don't have the money to buy it, and energy is free and abundant and everywhere. It's just the system of lies that makes us believe otherwise. When are you going to wake up? When are you going to smell the coffee or the roses? When are you going to get it? That this is a corrupt system. And we are here not to escape into some never, never airy-fairy realm, but we are here to actually take the action necessary to create a better system, to overthrow the old system of lies. And I don't mean that by a violent action. I mean by taking responsibility, by responsibility to learn how it works, to listen to the people that are trying to tell you how it works. And there's more and more of us. Listen, listen, pay attention, because we're changing the world. And how fast it happens, to a great extent, depends on how many people are willing to take responsibility to learn for themselves and not pay attention to the mainstream media. I mean, slowly there's cracks appearing even there, but mostly it's still lies. Mostly it's still a method of propaganda to keep you ignorant. Are you willing to wake up? What kind of vote are you casting? Are you standing up and saying, the value is in me and I'm taking it back? I'm not going to take the corruption anymore. I'm taking back my responsibility to vote positively in favor of a world that works for everyone. I leave you with these thoughts this morning, and I thank you for listening. Remember, silence is acquiescence. Namaste.